With this, I would like to invite our first speaker today, Steve McGuinness, who is working on presentation mastery pathway. It is level 3 elective project. Project title is Precious Time Spent with My Father. Steve, 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and I don't think we have any guests today, but if we do, guests. Today's topic is storytelling, and I would like to share with you two stories that happened in my lifetime, both of which involve my father. Let me start off by telling you a little bit about him, and then we'll get into the stories. He was a West Point graduate. He attended in the early 40s before wartime, and he got through the engineering degree in just 3 years because it was wartime. And he became an officer right away. You're automatically enlisted as an officer in the Army after you graduate. And he spent 20 years in the Army and retired with a rank of full colonel. He did some service in the Vietnamese War. He received a Legion of Merit Award and 2 Bronze Stars for his plucky behavior. Let me just show you a picture. And he also was a father of 8 children spread apart over quite a few years. So there was never 8 kids in the house, but I couldn't imagine raising more than 2 or 3, let alone 8. So I'm pretty sure my mother was as strong, if not a stronger person than my father, because she did all the cooking, the cleaning, the fundraising with the help of just 2 of my sisters. Father is also what I would call a certified genius. You're probably saying, what do you mean about this, Steve? Genius? You know, I look in the dictionary genius, and it's a very nebulous definition. The reason why I'm saying this is because he took the Mensa test, and back then you had to be in the 99th percentile to join Mensa, high IQ society, and he made the score. So he became a member of Mensa, and then he tested so high, he was also eligible to join the 999 Society, which is a top 99.9% IQ. So for that reason alone, I would have to call him a certified genius. Here's a picture of one of his photos with my mom. Hope you can all see it fine. Shortly after he retired from the service. Really good picture. Beautiful lady. And here's a picture of him at a Memorial Day parade with his second oldest son, who's also named William, and his grandson, who's also named William. So 3-generation picture there of all Williams. The first story happened when I was about 12 years old. Being in the military, our family traveled throughout the world, different military bases. And everyone in my family, except for me and my younger brother, Paul, got to fly on airplanes or trains or a combination of which. And we kind of felt left out that we never had that experience. So one day, I think we had a day or two's notice, my father said he's taking us on an airplane ride, and we couldn't believe it. So we drove to Bradley Airport in the morning, parked the car there, got on a plane, flew to New York City, took a cab to Coney Island, which is where he frequented often as a child. He grew up in Brooklyn. And we took a train ride, the Amtrak, all the way back to Hartford, and then a bus or something back to Bradley. And you can imagine how exciting that was for a young boy, for me and my brother. We just couldn't believe it. It was one of the fondest memories I had of my father in my youth. The next memory I'll tell you about comes after he died. He passed away at the age of 74, 99. And he actually had a car accident a few years earlier, never fully recovered from it. And as a result, I feel like I got robbed of some precious time that I could have spent with him during retirement. So I went to, and I never really felt close to him after he died. I'd go to the cemetery with my mom and some of my siblings every day on his anniversary at West Point to visit his grave and show our respects and have dinner at the lovely Thayer Hotel. And I saw pictures and have videos of him, but as you know, it's not the same as the person being there. And I really missed him. About 10 years later, I went to a religious conference, 3-day weekend, and I felt really close to God and the Holy Spirit after that experience. Shortly after that, I decided to build a woodshed out in the backyard because I just love having fires in the backyard. So I got the designs online. It's a simple 4x8 woodshed. You can see the frame here. And over gravel. It took 1 weekend to do that part. Took another weekend to do the framing, and then another weekend to do the walls and the roof. And this is a fire pit that I enjoy. It's got a cover over it to keep the snow and rain off. And this is what it looks like all full of wood. And this is my design, to have these little slats on the sides with these planks that you could just put in 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of them, or none of them, to keep the elements from going inside. So I thought that was pretty cool. And what's special about that woodshed, even though my father wasn't there, I felt his presence the whole time. Shopping for the wood, measuring 3 times, cutting once, building it very carefully, meticulously, because he was an engineer. He taught me about carpentry in my youth. And after the project was done, I looked back and I was wondering how it came out so well, because I couldn't have done that by myself. And then I remembered I used all the things my father taught me. And even better yet, I felt that he was there the whole time, standing right next to me, guiding me every step of the way. And for the first time in over 10 years, I felt his presence in my heart. So that is the second story that I wanted to share with you today. Amazing story. If you have an elderly person at home, please try to spend as much time with them as possible. You never know when a fall or an illness or a car accident is going to take them short of your life. So please do that. And if you have a loved one that's already passed, try to engage in an activity that you engaged in when that person was alive. And then I'm sure you will feel the presence of that person in your heart. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Steve.